Hey everyone, welcome. I'm going to be going over my dividend portfolio, my high yield dividend. Some people get mad when you call it dividend. I'm going to be going over my high yield income portfolio for my IRA. I'm doing a little bit of an experiment where I have around 30 grand in a IRA that I rolled over from a previous job. And I'm really interested in these high yield incomes, these covered call ETFs and others. You may have heard of ULTY or PLTY, NVDY. Um, I don't know. There's a lot of them. Yield Max. Trying to think of the other ones. Round Hill, Defiance. Anyway, I've been doing a lot of research on these, and I like the idea of having an income portfolio. So not only can I retire early, hopefully, but also I can have income that I can reinvest. So I already have other portfolios that I use for growth investing. So I have, my 401k. Obviously, I have other my Roth IRA and other taxable accounts that I can use to invest in other areas. So I'm trying to use this IRA that I have as a kind of an experiment to see if I like income investing like this, or if I should just stick to growth and more traditional methods, I guess you could call it. Anyway, so let me minimize this and then we'll. Okay. So disclaimer, as usual, as all YouTube's channels say, I am not a financial advisor. Anything that I say is for informational purposes only. What I am saying is what I'm doing in my personal account, and by no means don't follow what I'm doing because I don't really know what I'm doing. Like I said, this is an experiment, but I am an engineer by trade, by education. So I like spreadsheets and I like trying new things. So that's what this channel is all about. So here's the full disclaimer. Um, let's dive in. Okay, so if we look at this is a spreadsheet that I put together that basically shows currently where all of my holdings and when I bought them, as well as tracking all of the dividends that I've received so far. So as of today is October 17th. So most of these I have owned for almost a month, some a little bit longer. Um, the quick layout of this spreadsheet is designed to be a 70-30 split, whereas the 30% on top here are a little more conservative, which means that they're also less lower yield stocks, ETFs, whatever you want to call them, assets. But these are still what I'm playing around with is the mix between the two. The idea is this 30% is the foundation, and then 70% is a little bit crazier, higher income, less. I don't want to say less safe, but kind of more risk. Let's put it that way. Um, so one of the things that I've done here is I've also put who manages each of these funds, and as you can see, I'm very heavy into yield max. Honestly, I don't love that. I think yield max is kind of the pioneer for a lot of these. However, I don't have a single round hill in here, which I want to add some of that, and even Defiance. I want to research more on those companies and add some of theirs. I think the round hill ones, especially, are looking really good. Um, anyway, so you should see some famous. You should see some popular names in this community. Ulti, it seems like everybody owns that or it did at one point. Now it seems like everybody's bailing, but I don't know. Again, this is I've only got what $1,300 in there on this account, and then Bitcoin or BTCI. This is the Coney is the Bitcoin tracking. Hood, Amazon, whatever. You can read the list. But there's also some of these Rex Fang ones down here that are pretty high producing in the 20 and 30% here, which I find pretty interesting as well. So again, just kind of trying to see what the best mix of everything is. Anyway, so yeah, this is my portfolio. I track it. I log in multiple times a day, as any good YouTube finance person does. That's kind of addicted to this. I just like spreadsheets. I like to manage like my money this way so that I can track it and see where I can make adjustments. Um, okay, so let's walk through this, I guess, a little bit. So this column M here is basically tracking all of my dividends are dripping. So all of my dividends immediately reinvest back into the same stock that paid the dividend slash distribution. So this takes that into account and automatically calculates it when I add in over here. And actually, when I add in the dividends over here on this page, it doesn't auto calculate it. I get the updated shares from, sorry, the updated shares here in column H from my Schwab login. So anyway, so as you can see here, overall, my portfolio after a month, I'm down $124, down 0.42%, even with the most recent, the last several days have been very down because of the China tariff news. Um, and some notable ones: Hood is down, Amazon is down, Tesla is down. So obviously, all of these are down because of that. So that makes sense. Now, the interesting part is, even though I'm down by $124, basically break even, which means my dividends are paying quite a bit. So $965 is what I have received so far in dividends, and that is all again tracked over here. So all of the greens are the amounts that I've actually gotten into my account that have registered. I'm thinking of going through here and filling out kind of the projected dividends here, so that we can see what the kind of what the future could be. I did a calculation here that says at the current rate, this $30,000 that was invested would make around $12,797, which is a 43% return on investment, um, or I should say yield for that investment, which is pretty awesome. I mean, 43%. I've got a Betterment account that's earning 3.75% now, which is very safe, obviously, but it's pretty awesome to have kind of diversified investments that you can be a little riskier on some. Like this one, again, is kind of an extra one, and it's only 30 grand. If this works out well, I do plan on rolling into the same strategy into some of my other accounts, maybe some bigger amounts. So yeah, this is listed as a market. Never mind these. This is just a calculation I was trying to change. But this does take into account dividends. So yes, I'm down $134, which means that the market change has lost from the market change from when I first bought is down 965 plus 134, whatever that is. So overall it's okay, but partly the reason again I'm doing this is just to understand if I drip all this account and all of these distributions back in, can I maintain? So that's what's going on here. And then this column here is tracking the last dividend, as it says. And this one basically just looks at the most recent dividend that was paid, which basically gets the last, the number in the row. But then I also have an average here of the last three, I think it is, dividends that were paid. The ones that are blank don't have three yet, so it's blank. But like this one's 2618 is the average, so that way I can kind of compare. So for LFGY, am I making more in this last distribution or than the previous three, or is it on par, or is it less? Because then this will be kind of a flag to me as well to say, hey, maybe it's time to rebalance the portfolio. Anyway, tons of information here. I can go over this in more detail if anybody cares. But I'd like to, publish maybe a weekly update on this portfolio, and just kind of, go over my observations of doing this kind of high yield, high income investing, and just see, if I think it's worth it. Again, there's tons of people out there with opinions on YouTube, but I always like to see myself people that are actually doing it and running experiments and have, it's not just analysis; it's they're actually doing it. So yeah, as you can see down here too, I've got all kinds of different studies and things that I'm analyzing. So maybe some other time I can go over some of these as well, just to see what my what I'm looking at. But yeah, so that's essentially my portfolio. If you have any questions, if you want me to keep doing these videos, I'm just starting out, but if you want to keep seeing stuff like this, please do comment down below and let me know. As any starting YouTuber says, the more interaction you get and the more likes you get, just as motivation to put out the next video. So please let me know what you think. And also, you're looking at my list here. If there's any on this list that you don't like, feel free to say that. Say I don't like this one, but also tell me why, because there are some on this list that I even own that I don't particularly like. But it's more informative if you tell me why you don't like it, other than just say ulti is garbage. Let me know what your opinion is, because then I can use that information, when I'm analyzing it as well. So anyway, thanks for watching. We'll talk to you next time.